Hey, but I thought you used to drive tractors.
What?
I thought you used to drive tractors.
Is that long ago?
Aye, but you made some handle out of that, like.
So, this whole Corona thing, I've had to deal with three things. I have a responsibility to my family first. My wife Pamela is actually immune suppressed, so she's got her letter from the NHS now saying stay indoors for 12 weeks from the date of the letter. We were kind of ahead of the curve anyway. I reckon that I or the kids would be her weak link, the thing that would get her the virus. So I've separated myself in the household from her. So I'm living in a different bedroom, using a different bathroom. And the reason that I'm still out and about is because I have another responsibility, and that's to both the team and the customers, you guys watching FarmFLiX. And that's actually quite a delicate balance. Who's more important, the team or the customers? And technically, I'd have said they're equal. You can't really have one without the other. And my goal after this is all over is that we have got a full set of happy customers and we have all of our team retained, all of our staff are paid and have employment with us during this, after this. The challenging part is for us, you know, video editing. It's not ideal having to send all the machines home where everybody is. The real challenge of it is without the raw materials. It's like trying to build a trailer without any steel, without any raw material footage. It's very hard to make a video. So we got to get out and we got to film. And in the current climate of isolation, I don't want to force myself on any farmer, farmyard, because you never know who's living in that site that's vulnerable. So we got to make sure we're clear to go wherever we're going. We've got to be careful about it, and really we're going to focus on whatever tractor driving I can get, whatever crews I can interact with. And Alan, Mr. Clyde, is going to really do ag life this season from his farm. So we're going to get out here a bit more from Old Tom, but we'll have to look at things a bit more in depth now if we can. And I always enjoy listening to Alan. I always enjoy trying to wind him up. And we're out. He's good crack. Well, he's very hard to get raised unless he's around Old Tom. Rock and roll again. Can't break right off, would help, wouldn't it? Starting to get a feel for this joke. So, I'm not much of a Merlot driver. I've not done an awful lot of telehandler work. My dad had a Ford 4000 with a front loader. And then when he was getting fancy, he bought himself a front loader for the 674 International. And now she was a pig. You talk about clumsy. 674 with a front loader on her. Clumsy. He hated that tractor. And he loves her. He thinks she is the weapon. The only thing I liked about her was the gears that stood to the side. She was slow. She was noisy. I get the blame for taking the clutch out of her. One day he was hard up for baler drivers, and he put me in the 674, and I got a couple of laps around the field, and the next thing, clutch was away on her. So, like, nothing to do with the previous years and years and years of work that she'd done. No. I took the clutch out of her, my own. in one field. So anyway, telehandlers, I'm not that familiar with them. I have had probably the only telehandler I've any experience in is the Merlot, and obviously then Alan, I've seen his going. And to be fair to Merlot, I don't know what other telehandlers are like, but my impression of them is they can take abuse. They just seem to keep going and going and going and pushing and digging. And to be fair, there earlier I got caught out, started filling the first couple of loads, and I think she defaults to the high box whenever you fire her up from cold. And I was pushing into high gear, and I was like, this isn't filling very well, I'm not getting good bucketfuls on here. And eventually I figured it out and knocked her in the low gear, and like, you can really push, really dig with that thing. I know you've only been on clean stone, but I think they want to go. I wouldn't be afraid to invest in one if I was sure I needed it. And I think Alan there recently had the dilemma of, you know, his is tired, his needs change. What would he do? Would he buy a front loader to the tractor and let that one go? But I think from his perspective, it would be a big backward step. Like, he would see some difference with the four-wheel steer. You know, to go back to a tractor and front loader, I just can't see it for him. You know, that yard work, like manoeuvring on the side edge of the shear grab and all, I can see why men love telehandlers, I really can. And at the start, you know, I was like my dad, and someone said it to me one day, you know, if you haven't got it, if it's new and you haven't got it, immediately you're like, nah, it's a little rubbish. What do you need that for? But once you get to see them in action, you know, a tractor and front loader looks clumsy. There's a lovely wee sweet note of that engine, but then maybe it's the John Deere bias in me that's making me talk that way. See the way I'm sawing there on that steering wheel? I can feel my arm tired. Why does my arm feel tired? See what Andrew's doing there right now. Like it's important to water that runs the right direction. It's sort of a fundamental issue if you dig that badly. I think he's got all these wee white posts out. They've been out here before and marked wherever it needs to go, and he's just digging to those now. It looks like there's a big deep shock there down in behind that he's going to tee that into, obviously. I'll let him get pulled away out of the road there before I shape in to do my thing. At least we're getting a better run at it. I was at it earlier there with short runs, and like I was just in and out of the cab, like Billy-O, getting no time to think, no time to watch or spectate. And I can't do two things at once. They say women can multitask. I would love to see a woman who could drive this yoke to perfection, put the stones exactly where they wanted it, to the depth they wanted it, and talk the leg of a stool at the same time. My brain just does not work that way. I'm talking, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, or I'm thinking about the job in hand, and my brain just switches off. I noticed that years ago, whenever I first, the hands-free kits driving came about, because I can be driving away happy as Larry talking to someone, and as soon as something's happening on the traffic in front of me, the person on the end of the phone has no idea what's going on, and I just stop talking and I deal with the situation that has sprung up in front of me, and then I get back into what we were talking about. I learned that one many years ago. So this is like therapy for me, getting out in a tractor. It's just one of them things that it's like autopilot. I love carting stuff, I love carting silage, I love carting slurry. I can get into full autopilot mode. I got my HGV license back in 2008 and drove trucks for the best part of 3 years, Saturdays, weekends, just shifting stuff for local hauliers, never any far away, but you know, we even get into the lorry, it's just like autopilot. You just love that. It's like therapy for me. I get out in the open road and I'm not even thinking. It's not even like I'm using the time to think about stuff and figure stuff out. I'm just driving. It's like my brain can't disengage from what's going on, everything I've got going on. You know, I'm constantly putting solving problems, putting the world to rights, thinking of new ideas, things I could be doing, things I could be seeing, places to be, and it's constant battle in my brain as to what I should be at. I start a lot of wee jobs, and it takes me a lot of discipline to actually finish a wee job. You want to talk to my wife, you see what it's like trying to get me to do anything.